If you plant a tree seedling, you know the benefits are not going to be realized immediately. It takes time and care for the tree to grow large enough to provide shade and wildlife habitat, as well as to protect against soil erosion, flooding, and drought. But you do it anyway, because you know it will enhance your property and environment, and be something to leave behind for the next generation. On May 5th, 1960, the idea of the Nottawasaga Valley Conservation Authority was like that tree seedling. Not long after Hurricane Hazel in 1954, forward-thinking representatives from the watershed's municipalities knew that if they took that first step to form a conservation authority, then natural resource management and protection would follow for everyone's benefit. For 50 years, the NVCA has been implementing local conservation projects in a proactive manner to benefit our watershed municipalities and residents. A watershed is an area of land that is drained by a river and its tributaries. These in turn empty into a larger body of water, such as the Great Lakes. The NVCA watershed is approximately 3,700 square kilometers and spans through 18 municipalities in the counties of Simcoe, Dufferin, and Grey. Our landscape varies with both rural and urban areas. We have many unique environmental treasures: the internationally significant Minising Wetland, the Niagara Escarpment, the Oak Ridges Moraine, and the Georgian Bay shoreline. Today, as we celebrate our 50th anniversary, we find ourselves near Georgian Bay, along the banks of Black Ash Creek, in the town of Collingwood. The Black Ash Creek floodway is the largest project the NVCA has undertaken in the past 50 years. It's also a great example of conservation through partnership. This project, designed to prevent flooding in the west part of town, involved so many partners: the NVCA, the town of Collingwood, the Ministry of Natural Resources, the Department of Fisheries and Oceans, the Blue Mountain Watershed Trust, local school groups, and more. Now complete, the floodway is an efficient flood control structure capable of handling a regional storm like Hurricane Hazel. It serves more purposes than flood control, though. New areas of Collingwood were able to undergo wise development as this structure added an important component to land use planning. Enhanced fisheries habitat and water quality, enhanced green space and recreational opportunities, particularly on the Collingwood Trails Network, and an environmental education demonstration site.
You heard Vice Chair Montgomery tell you a bit about what the mission and vision of conservation authorities are. And it's about managing these natural resources, the environment, and all that it is to us in partnership with so many organizations, multiple levels of government, for the benefit of not only the local residents, but all of those who pass through, who visit, who come to stay at a later point, and they treasure the efforts that you put into managing and maintaining this natural environment, because it's critical.
Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. Dr. Seuss. So all of you folks, some young and some not so young, and some of you in between, who do care and have cared about our environment, all of you are owed a great debt of gratitude, and I thank you. Today is one of those days where we take a moment or two to say thank you to you and to acknowledge your collective achievements. For 50 years, the NVCA has been investing in our communities through the delivery of programs that conserve, protect, and enhance our natural environment. Since its inception on May 5th, 1960, the NVCA has protected our communities from natural hazards by encouraging and, yes, regulating our sustainable development with regards for natural heritage, restoring the health of our watershed through stewardship and managing conservation lands to promote outdoor education and recreation. Today, along with our friends from the NVCA, we bear witness to the long-term results of our conservation efforts.
To all our friends gathered here today, conservation means something different to them.
I think conservation speaks to quality of life and quality of space, quality of place. People, I don't think I've ever heard somebody say, I want to take a walk across an asphalt parking lot. I think most people would like to take a walk along a stream, a waterfront, or in the bush and enjoy what Mother Nature has to offer, instead of really what development has to offer. Yep, it's fun to shop and do those kinds of things, but really I think for peace of mind, it's out in the natural environment that we want to be, and conservation is there. Conservation authorities are there to protect it.
Conservation is not only important, it's absolutely necessary for the sustainability of mankind and nature in all forms. Without it, we'll lose it for sure. To think that the this Conservation Authority is 50 years old is quite impressive. And the amount of education and the hundreds of souls that it has touched through its programs is insurmountable. We would not have a vision of that. But the way things are going, the demand on lands to build and that sort of thing, organizations like conservation authorities are absolutely a necessity if we're going to have any kind of quality of life.
And everyone has a favorite memory from the past 50 years.
Many projects which I remember, but I think one of the most fun ones was about a year ago. It was a couple days after Earth Day, and we were doing a tree planting down in Mono Township in Dufferin County. And it was a day similar to today, but the rain started, the thunder started, and it poured for about 4 to 5 hours, and we had 3,000 or 4,000 trees to plant still. And we just kept on getting wetter and wetter. No one cared. We laughed, we threw things at each other, and we just played and planted our trees. At the end of it, we got inside and warmed up, and it's just a really good time. Met new people and new experiences.
I've been on the board for 20 years, so there's a lot of projects. But the one I remember the best, and I'm a little vague on the year, but it was when the Kosovo refugees were staying at Base Borden, and we decided, we being the board, that we would take the children of the Kosovo refugees every, I think, Wednesday during the summer. We brought them over to our educational program, and we had a couple of hundred young children there, couldn't speak English, and we took them through the woods, and we even, for the last day there, we stocked the pond with trout and gave them fishing rods and taught them how to fish. Now, it's not a big project in terms of what conservation authorities do, but just memorable, that's the one that sticks in my mind. We had a ball doing that.
So the most important project that I believe the Conservation Authority has undertaken is developing a strategic approach to our business. That is, we develop the science, we have the technical staff that understand our resource, understand our water quality issues, understand our forest habitat needs, understand our wildlife needs, understand where we have erosion and flooding issues and challenges. Those staff then work with our board members to develop programs and projects, and our board members then approve budgets that fund these projects, and then our staff implement those with the support of our many partners. And so the strategic direction that we use is designed to provide the best support we can for our municipalities and our residents to ensure that we protect the environment, that we protect their properties from erosion and flooding, and that we ensure that our watershed is a wonderful place to live and that we have healthy, sustainable economies.
There have been many of them, many of them, but I think the way I'd like to answer that is a project not getting down and getting dirty or digging holes or planting trees, but more bringing people together and creating partnerships, because as you probably know, conservation authorities are so largely dependent on partnerships, and I think back over the years working with the Rotary clubs, especially the ones from the Barrie area, our Friends of Minnesings, our Friends of Fort Willow, and all of those little groups, the Bruce Trail, Blue Mountain clubs, all those little groups that help us pull this big project together, kind of would have to be the one for me.
Because we, at the time when we came to the NVCA and said we would like to be the stewards of this property, we would like to keep it as green space. We would like to eventually restore the grist mill. Our credibility was just based on we had no organization. We were just the residents of the community. And for the board and the staff of the NVCA to say, yes, we believe in these people and we will take a chance, quite honestly. They gave us the faith that allowed us to go ahead and have a lease for the land, and year over year we're getting stronger, and we're actually building a sustainable vision for the Utopia Conservation Area. And it's only because the NVCA has the credibility in our area, had the perspective to save that parkland, because it could have very easily been developed. And if it hadn't been for the NVCA, without a doubt, that land would no longer be public green space. So I'm very grateful, and I think if any of us are privileged to come back in 50 years, we will see the legacy that is the NVCA and the power of the people in terms of believing that green works.
We all need nature and green space, whether it's to protect us from floodwaters and other natural hazards, or to relax us as we enjoy a walk in the woods. Every day, NVCA staff and board members try to promote sound conservation ethics, for we cannot manage our natural resources alone. Due to our efforts and partnerships with all levels of government, our landowners, and our volunteers, the NVCA has a lot to be proud of as it looks back on 50 years of conserving our healthy waters.